Hey everyone, it's Miss Bell here again in the science lab, and we are talking about the physical property of size. Now what that means is how little or how big an object is when you compare it to different items. Take, for instance, the size of my eyes. Well, they are smaller than the size of my ear. But my ear is smaller than the size of my head. So my eyes would be the smallest, my head would be the biggest or the largest, and my ear is kind of a size in between. So these are the items that we're going to be looking at and comparing in regards to the size that they are. So how big or how small they are when you put them side by side other objects. Right over here, I have this little black bean. Now if I put that up next to my Lego, I know that my Lego is larger or bigger than my black bean. So I'm actually going to move this over here, because if you look at my arrows, as our line of items goes this way, we're going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and larger. And as we come this way, it's going to get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. So I have a pretty small item right here. If I look at my gummy bear compared to my black bean, I know my gummy bear is larger than my black bean. So I'm going to put that right beside it. Now if I come over here to my box of matches and I put that next to my gummy bear, I know my box is larger than my gummy bear. But if I compare that to my Lego, what? My match box is larger than my Lego. So I'm going to switch these around. So smallest, small, little bit bigger, and largest as of right now. Now I compare my Lego person. This is Dwight from The Office, if you know that show at all. If I compare the size of my Lego person to my box of matches, I know he's smaller. So I'm going to switch that so that, again, small, 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 big, 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 biggest. And let's see, I'm going to compare it to my battery. And I would say just barely my box of matches is a little bit smaller than the height of my battery. Now let's say, oh wow, yeah, my toothpaste is much larger than my battery, so that looks good there. Let me compare it to my orange. Whoa, my orange is much smaller than my toothpaste tube, so I'm going to switch that around, and my orange is bigger or larger than my battery, so I'm correct there. I'm also making sure I'm lining up to the best of my ability all of my objects kind of in a straight line at the very bottom. My pen is larger or taller than my bottle of perfume. Let me just grab my feather right here, kind of line that up at the bottom, and that's definitely taller than my fluffy ladybug pen, but my straw is shorter or smaller than my feather so I'm going to move that right there. Now that kind of depends on how stretched out or how scrunched up my straw is, but either way it's definitely bigger than my ladybug pen. How about my shoe? Let's incorporate my shoe. I'm going to put it over here and compare it to my feather. Now my feather is definitely larger than my shoe, so that goes over here. Let's see if it fits here. It does. Look at that. My shoe is smaller than the feather but bigger than the straw. And that is how you compare size of different items by kind of putting them side by side and seeing what's bigger, what's smaller, and then you're able to kind of make a line like I did of the smallest to the largest.